I'm just making sure that it's streaming live. Let's see. Okay. Now I see it on LinkedIn, but there's little delay. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sudha Live. I'd taken a short break and I'm resuming back again. Hope you missed me as much as I missed you. This is Sudha Jamthe, and I'm joining here from Silicon Valley. End of the week, Friday, 6 o'clock. This is my usual time that I get to talk to you about opportunities in the beautiful world of artificial intelligence. And I hope you will follow up and connect with me. I also publish everything that I'm going to share here in terms of AI opportunities as jobs and events and fellowships on my newsletter, the Jamthe newsletter. So let me start with that so that you know where to look for that. It's a bit.ly link, bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter. Let me go there. That's our beautiful Veterans Day logo here in US. It's Veterans Day. So here is bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter. And this is the archive. So if you just want to bookmark this, come back, watch it, it's great. Or if you want to join the mailing list, you will see it and you can go back and look at all the past, years long newsletter too. In this newsletter, I will actually give you the recording of this link, and I will also give you all the different courses and events and jobs and everything that I'm going to be sharing here today. So hope I get to hear from some of you on applying for these jobs or attending these events and giving feedback, because I'm very big on adapting to what I'm doing. And I started this as a way to keep in touch with my students. So I teach AI artificial intelligence bootcamp for product and business managers at Stanford. I teach AI ethics at Barcelona Technology School. And this week, I'm going to be talking to you about a topic that is very dear to me, about autonomous vehicles and data in autonomous vehicles. And I teach courses at Business School of AI along with a couple other brilliant instructors, and very rare, unique courses. A lot of them focused on ethics, inclusive AI, data, value creation. And so I have a course called Business of Autonomous Vehicle Data and Autonomous Vehicle Masterclass that I teach with along with David Kerrigan. And we've talked about value from data, meaning there is data in the car. What is data in the car? AI in the car. Once you understand that, how are digital twins built from the car? And this is connected vehicles today on their way to become autonomous vehicles. So that's kind of my sweet spot, because previously I've taught the autonomous vehicle business course at Stanford Continuing Studies before I switched to the AI course, which is my current live course. And this week I found something called car tapping. And there's a report on that, so I'm going to share that with you. So usually what I do is this half hour, I will share opportunities in AI. That's my goal. And if you're watching me on LinkedIn, if you can add a comment and a question, if you work on anything related to that area that I'm talking about, this is great. Or if you have questions for me, I will watch that live and I will answer that. And I'm not looking at Twitter. I'm not looking at YouTube, though this is streaming also on YouTube and being shared on Twitter. Okay. And if there is any follow-up there, I will make sure that I pick it up next week. But the live one will happen only on LinkedIn. So let me see. Okay. It is showing me some people are watching, but that doesn't show me who they are. So unless you introduce yourself and ask some questions or anything, I will know that. So what I'm going to do is this car tapping topic is the one I'm going to cover as a discussion analysis, which I usually like to pick a topic. And then I'm going to focus on jobs and events. And this has been a hard week because in tech industry, we had huge layoffs from two big tech companies. And the and this happened in not in a very great way. You must have seen all the news on about Twitter, on Twitter, and all other channels about how the layoffs happened on Twitter. I personally have worked with many of these people in Silicon Valley in my past jobs at eBay and PayPal. So it's very heart wrenching to see the reality of the layoffs or how they what they're going through. The other side of it is the humanity of it, all of us coming together and trying to find other jobs and share and give referrals and help people out, because that's how we do it. Because layoffs or reorgs are not uncommon in Silicon Valley, because Silicon Valley focuses on build and test and fail and move on for everything. And so I've seen a lot of those reorgs and stuff happen, but the way this was done was not very human or professional. And so I want to start this week with the jobs, and I'm going to share some of them, and I will continue to share them. Let me share my screen. This one was shared on LinkedIn by Karma Bertelsen. And when you think of Silicon Valley, it's you think tech, and you think engineers. And I saw a whole bunch of threads on jobs for engineers that I shared on LinkedIn already. And the way that layoffs typically happen is they will start off from the periphery. They won't touch the engineers first. In this case, the engineers got impacted also. But there are a lot of jobs in Silicon Valley that productizes the tech. So tech innovation happens, and then it gets productized. The market uh, product fit is tested and iterated. And then there are analysts who look at data and insights, and there's AI that kind of is across the board on all of these. And marketers, digital marketers, go to market marketers, PR, Marcom. And one of the things I'd heard about Twitter was the comms team at Twitter got fired, so there was nobody to go back to for comment, even on the Twitter layoff. So it was just sad. So here is a set of jobs that is being shared from music industry on creative jobs. A lot of creatives lost their jobs. So there are various, so this is, let me go to the actual site. This is a Google Doc of music industry go to jobs page, just created by Karma Bertelston. Thank you so much. And it talks about, it gives the actual link of the various jobs, and whether it is in, which country it is and where it is and stuff like that. So um, I hope you will look at this. It has a lot of real jobs and agencies and stuff, art jobs, um, entertainment jobs, marketing jobs, and a lot of different recruitment agencies who might be able to help you. So this is the link, and I will share this on my newsletter also. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, I'm happy to put this link on LinkedIn if that's useful for you. It actually came as a link on LinkedIn, so I'm just going to do a like so that it is shared across my feed on LinkedIn. Okay. Uh, the other job is, I've always shared a bunch of jobs which are fellowships and research related jobs. And Berkman Center in Harvard has a beautiful project manager for research jobs. I've been talking to many of you that, if you're in industry, you can still do research. And with my Global South in AI project, we've done a research 101. Susanna Raj has done a poster building session. Yash Ashwini Yash, who runs the weekly WED, has done this research 101 sessions. So I've had a lot of newer researchers in recent times. And this is perfect for people who have experience with research publishing, who know the research ecosystem or work with them. Let me share that job. Again, I will be sharing all these links in my newsletter too. And if you want to capture it right here, this is from the Berkman Klein Center. It's a project manager for research. Um, Recently, I had the opportunity to work with Notre Dame University on a on a grant that I had received, and I had worked with people who were running the whole show, right? Managing everything, managing all the different researchers for the grant, publishing the grants with the selection and everything else. So this is a fun job, which, you can, it has a lot of different roles that, makes it super interesting. So this one, it directly manages the research team members by overseeing the research portfolio and assigning them to tasks to support professional development. And there's a bunch of stuff that you can see the details of this. They're looking for a bachelor's degree, and obviously if you have team management experience, that is especially with project management, that they're looking for that. These are all the details about that. So hope that is something that you look at. And I believe Berkman Center also has academic year research assistant job, which is only for Harvard students. Let me share that too if you want to take a look at that. This is not going to help the people in tech here who got laid off, but Berkman Center, if you're there, Berkman Klein Center, if you're in Howard, then here are research assistants jobs. There's a newly announced ones, RA positions. So share it within your university community. Okay. Let me see what else have I got for you here. So those are two jobs that I thought, that at least resources that I thought I should immediately share. I will be sharing a lot of jobs of different levels, different roles that is relevant to everybody in tech who, need the jobs. I will be sharing that in the newsletter a lot more. So I don't want to use this time to just give you a list. I see a lot of product managers, project managers, digital managers, researchers, um, various kind of other ecosystem of research jobs that I'm seeing in my world here. So and the music job sites are a lot of creative roles that would benefit, that would be a fit for anybody in the marketing, BD, project management, creative design kind of roles and all that stuff. So hopefully you'll be able to find something. And as I find more on LinkedIn, because more people are sharing, I'm happy to link that too. Okay. So the newsletter will go out on Sunday morning. And so the bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter, Jamthe, my last name, newsletter, one word. And hopefully, you'll be able to find something there. I used to have a running list of jobs. I kind of, purge them out so that I keep the recent one. And the list of jobs that I'll be sharing is typically global, not limited to Silicon Valley, but I'm going to find a lot more jobs from Silicon Valley to help the people who need that now. Talking of events, that's another thing that, nice networking opportunity, and especially for my batch of students from the Stanford Artificial Intelligence Bootcamp for product and business managers who are my current students. There's a lot of different events that happens around that I share in here. So some of them are hybrid or live, and there is one from Stanford. They're calling it the Stanford Digital Assets Week. Let me share the link. There is a live version. Sorry, there's a live version, and there is also let me take you to the actual link instead of my notes version. Here's the thing. So this is November 14 to 17. And on Thursday, I found that pretty interesting, that, you can see the week at a glance. And specifically the Thursday schedule was super interesting for me. And then I teach class on Thursday, later part of Thursday. So I was kind of specifically looking at that. As you all know about my love for data, this one is building the new economy, data as capital. We've been hearing about this a long time, and I dislike this phrase, data is the new oil, but it has a new capital is the theme here. So I would recommend this. Go take a look at that. They also have a bunch of other things on they have the thing about digital currency and cryptocurrency policy and stuff on the earlier in the week. I'm not into that topic, so I'm not, promoting that. But the Digital Economy Lab is hosting this Data has a capital whole day event. And currently the live version is waitlisted, but there's a hybrid version that you can watch also. So I would recommend that. I'm going to try and make it at least for the beginning part of the day till my class time, which is later in the day. So I would recommend that. And just look at the professors, the topics, the way when I promote an event, I have no affiliation. I work at Stanford Continuing Studies and teaching currently, but that's not why I'm promoting this event. I usually look at events that helps you give a multiple pluralistic view on a topic, especially data, and digitizing data, and creating value from the data is very dear to me. And it's loaded with various dimensions on how you think about that. And that's a topic we are actually discussing in class right now in my artificial intelligence bootcamp class. And so it's good to know that. So what I would recommend is, if you can make it, it's great. If you can't make it, it doesn't matter. But go look at the schedules. Go look at the speakers, who the people are. Because when I recommend something, I'm looking at the portfolio of people, and based on that, you can their topic might be interesting, what they're going to cover, or go look at their work, their research. Usually they share that. And so that would be an interesting starting point for you to network or follow interesting people and work, or build on their work. So that's my motivation to share that. The other event that is happening soon, it's not next week, it's on November 29th, right after Thanksgiving here, is digital transformation for people oriented cities and communities. And it's a very catchy title that attracted me, I have to admit that. So one of the group actually who is hosting that event is ITU. It's AI for Good is their organization. Let me share the screen again. This is on November 29th. They have a lot of events, and you just sign up and then you will be here. You will just go to the stages area and then you will see them. If you go look at the program, you can see their past programs. So if you sign up, it's free sign up. You can actually, it's more Europe friendly time, but you might be able to catch some of it. So this is a lot of their past events, so you can get a feel for what they are talking about. So algorithmic recourse, the theory to practice. The good thing is, this is because it is UN affiliated, they actually look at the um, sustainability goals of UN. Which one does that cater to towards responsible AI for disaster risk management? So then it says, okay, this 11 and 16 are supported by this particular topic. So if you're passionate about one particular SDG goal, then you can actually see whether that's relevant to that, right? So this is all a lot of past events, and then it comes to the current one. So they have one on November 24. I had not seen this before. In AI we trust. I had not seen that before. I was telling you about this one on November 29th, the digital transformation for people-oriented cities and communities. So I'm going to check out this AI in AI in trust. Typically, I would like to go look at who the people are, what is the slant of the topic that they are going to say. In what do you mean by in AI we trust? Is it about trustworthy AI? Are they questioning whether we can trust AI? Are they raising ethical issues? And then it gives us a clue based on which SDG goals does that support. So this is pretty interesting, so I'm going to check that out. So this is the stuff that's happening. And then they have, don't trust your AI system, model its validity instead. This is very timely for me, for my class, especially for my students who are watching this or who are going to come back and watch this recording. On 14th November, Monday is my class in the evening. And I have a couple students from EU who are joining, late and at night, because mine is a live online class at Stanford Continuing Studies. This session would have happened before my class, I think. And I'm actually covering this topic of how do you model AI for product managers? How do you build? So it's not about building AI. It's not just about productizing AI. How do you model AI with data to build out AI to solve for business problems or to productize it, to build out the product in an applied AI sense. It's kind of where I'm going with my current syllabus. And so model its validity instead of, don't trust the AI system is very fantastic. So I'm definitely going to check it out. And so you get the idea. This is a wonderful resource, and these are good people, AI for good, and they're not going to, get your data and go sell it. At least, they follow the GDPR and have been very respectful. So I would highly recommend that. So let me see, do you have any questions? Because then I'm going to go to our topic of discussion today. Where are we? Okay, I see Tanya. Yes. Open Silicon Valley is happening right now. Thank you, Tanya. I did not know that. Santa Clara Convention Center. Um, is it happening like now? Is it happening in the weekend, Tanya? If you can share a link, that'll be fantastic. We'll appreciate that. And my newsletter goes out on Sunday morning, so I don't know if it is late to share this information. But if it is still happening within the time, and I will share it in the Jamthe newsletter also. But feel free to add a comment. Thank you for that, Tanya. Tanya had added a comment in LinkedIn. So feel free to add a comment in the just below where you've said this Open Silicon Valley Forum is happening. Yes, thank you. Oh, it's all day Saturday, so it'll be thank you, Tanya. So it'll be late for my newsletter. Can you give us a link so that I'll appreciate that. If you add a link here, people who are watching this or come back and watch this will be able to sign up and come join that. Thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate that. So any question, comments on what I've been talking about? Otherwise, I'm going to go to this wiretap on wheel topic, which is what I plan to discuss with you today. Any questions, comments? I mean, something relevant to this, or, if you have a job that you want to share so that, people who are unfortunately in the mess caused by Twitter or got laid off by Meta can benefit from that. And of course, you can share from jobs from anywhere because I have, a global forum here. And before I go into this wiretap topic, I was kindly reminded of this. This is on International Women's Day in Feb. This was one of those links shared, which was celebrating women from Australia, and 120 women. Flinders University had celebrated the 120 women, and this was amazing. All women in STEM. So especially for people I hear saying, "Hey, I'm not able to hire enough women in STEM. I'm not able to track enough women in terms of diversity, in terms of the research and work. These are passionate, brilliant women." So I would take a look at this. I plan to follow up because this was, shared for International Women's Day on Feb. So I would like to follow up and see what these women are doing, what is their latest work. So if you have been involved or you see any of the amazing women in STEM or in technology in general, I would like to hear what latest they're working on, because I start collecting things to build out for next IWD or for International Women's Day in Feb, or for IoT Day Women, which comes in April. So send them my way. I mean, I would like to hear about every one of these 120 women or a new set of women. I love sharing that stuff. So thank you so much. And thank you for the inspiration. Okay, so now we come to this ugly topic of wiretaps on wheel. So wiretaps on wheel is, let me share the link. Okay, wiretaps on wheel is this report from STOP. STOP is this nonprofit from New York, which shares surveillance technology oversight project. And I've shared lots of work from them in the past. This is a report they've done, and it complements what I've been teaching as value creation from data from autonomous vehicles. And there's a whole chilling report going through. For some of you who have taken my class would know the kind of data they're talking about. But what it is doing is there is telematics data, There is infotainment data. There is data from sensors, which tracks location and the like, which is, it can track driver behavior, driving behavior, all that it is available in the vehicle. So this is data from the car. But what this report is doing, it is talking about the legality of it and the ethical boundary of how law enforcement, stop specifically focuses on law enforcement to keep them, have an oversight on them. So it looks at that, and here's the report. So this is, if you go to stopspying.org, this is wiretaps on wheel. And again, I'll share this in the newsletter too. So they've actually shared details of this in great detail of what law enforcement has access to, especially for, location data. They can find protesters or, people going to do whatever that, police wants to track without any, without the bounds of, going getting um, um, permission from a judge to go follow an individual. And the chilling part was, even if you, for the infotainment system, when you try to make a phone call and you want it to be hands free, and you have an infotainment system on your phone, on your car, and you use that to make your calls, then your phone gets connected to the car, and then all that data and your text that comes from there, all of that is stored in there. And that is, is not it's not protected by GDPR, or it is not by any of the laws, and it is accessible. So that was very chilling to hear. And even if you try, there must be, like, if you any of the tech companies like Amazon and Google and all, when they have data, they store only for 18 months, and this stays on forever because it's burnt in the vehicle and sits there. And this was the part they were talking about, the wiretapping. So the law enforcement agencies can listen to conversations happening in the car using the emergency response system, using the hands-free microphone system, and they call it car tapping. So if they want to track a particular person, they can tap in and they can start listening to their conversation, and no warrants or anything, and who they are doing, and it's not just tracked, which is so chilling. So take a look at this report. I don't have a solution for you. I usually talk to people who are building tech and product managers and tell them the right ethical way of doing things. I tell them how you can create value from data, but do it within limits of, privacy and ethics and fairness and responsible AI. And so this was chilling for me because this is a topic that I've been teaching and talking. So I would like to hear from you. Patrick Kalin was there. He's the author of Machine See, Machine Do. He was there in my class last week, talking to students about AI ethics. So I would like to hear from Patrick. I would like to hear from people who are like Dr. Tiago from Brazil, Divya from India, to see what is your take on this, on law enforcement having access to car data, what is happening in generally in terms of policy and protecting individual privacy, and the balance on the security aspect of why they would want to car tap. So I would like to hear from you what is happening, and feedback on that, and what I can share back with my class. So hope this was inspiring enough for you to, at least I wanted to create awareness of this, that this report exists from stopspying.org. So take a look at that, and then tell me who's doing what in that space and what can be done. And maybe there's innovation to build products, right? And if you're working, at least if you're my student and if you're working in the car space, what are you doing about it? And what are you doing to do this ethically? If you're giving access to data, if you're exposing data for a reason, I would like to hear from you and see what we can do. So so much for the jobs and events. And I'm going to be adding a little bit more jobs onto the newsletter. But with that, I want to wrap up. I wanted to keep it a little short. So since we've resumed back after a while, I try to keep this for 30 minutes. It still goes for 40 minutes. So I want to wrap up. Let me see if there are any more questions, comments, at least on LinkedIn side. Okay. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Tanya is going to be adding the link for Open Silicon Valley Forum. It's a huge event that's been happening. I've been there a while back, pre-COVID days live. This is happening at the Santa Clara Convention Center all day tomorrow, I believe. So in Silicon Valley. So if you're local, you can check it out. And with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everybody. I will see you next week, same time at 6 o'clock Pacific time at Sudha Live. Thanks. Bye. Stay safe. So let me stop the streaming.